Oklahoma fans seem to be fixated on what's going on in Los Angeles with Lincoln Riley. I'm sure that's going to fade with time, and the wins and the losses are going to mount for both programs, and we'll see what happens there. I think Oklahoma is more of a steady, stable situation. We'll see if Lincoln Riley becomes the big splash that he is. Is he really the villain that he appears to be among Sooner Nation?
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. And I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that he left. I don't think Oklahoma fans are that petty. The rumor for years and years was that, hey, the Dallas Cowboys job, that's Lincoln Riley's dream job. And if that ever were available to him, he would take it. And I know there was some concern after the 2019 season when that Cowboys job came open that, oh, maybe Lincoln Riley's about to bolt for the NFL. And if that had been the case, I don't feel like Oklahoma fans would have had any beef with Lincoln Riley because they couldn't, right? He's taking what is ostensibly, at least in his eyes, a better job and a higher profile job at that. The Dallas Cowboys are America's team after all. And I'm not necessarily limiting that discussion to the Cowboys. I think if Lincoln Riley had seen fit to take another job, nobody would have given that a second thought, and nobody would have held him responsible for the feelings of an entire fan base if he hadn't left the way that he did. I think it has less to do with the fact that he left and a lot more to do with the fact that he left the way he did. And what I mean by that, Mark, is that absolutely nobody knew that Lincoln Riley was even in conversation with USC. And I know he portrayed the whole spiel about how, the first time I ever talked to USC was that Saturday night after Bedlam, and 12 hours later, I decided to say yes. That's bogus. And everybody knows that's bogus. That's not a decision that gets made in 12 hours. That's not something that gets worked out from both ends in the span of 12 hours. And so he can continue to stand on that soapbox and proclaim as long as he wants that he never spoke to USC until after that Bedlam game on Saturday night. That's not the case. There's no way that's the case. And furthermore, to spring it on everybody the way that he did, which is to call a team meeting, walk in, stand in front of them for 2 or 3 minutes and say, hey, I'm leaving. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. The players in that locker room, his assistants, and most of all, the fan base, because they were so blindsided, especially after watching him stand on that podium on Saturday night after the Oklahoma State game, look everybody straight in the eye and say, I'm not going to be the next head coach at LSU. Then you turn around the next day and you're taking the USC job. So again, technically he never lied, but I think a lot of people felt misled. And particularly when you add up the somewhat mysterious circumstances of the previous few weeks, the fact that he was absent from the team for a day in preparation for the Baylor game, which they eventually lost, and it was not a pretty loss at all, very ignominious one. And so a lot of people in hindsight wonder what happened on that day. Was that maybe the day that he flew out to USC to interview? And there's a lot of speculation